Well, I would like for you to rate, because I have rated Bob Brown as a coach, and I have put him, I would say there are 100 coaches in North America, right? That's just me throwing out that number. So I have put Bob Brown. I mean, I really like Bob. So I feel like Bob is the 87th best arm wrestling coach in the United States from the active 100. Can you tell me, do you put Bob in this top three of all time coaches? Have you ever sought consultation from a Bob Brown?
No, I never saw a consultation from Bob Brown, and I don't know enough about his teachings. I know he's had good people come out of his camp, but is that just because there was a good camp? And could John Brzezinski be behind that? Could Kevin
He could afford the real estate to live right where John lives. Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know who's coaches. I mean, I think when you look at the places that produce the best people, there's got to be someone behind it.
I got Tom Simcoe, Nitro. I got him in 11th overall.
All right, so who's your top three?
My top three are me, myself, and I, and then a bunch of Dinkelbergs that I've never even heard a good coach. As soon as I hear a coach tell somebody to grab and control and learn three things, I know he's a retard.
Yeah, but that's interesting because people do have different attributes that can. I think a good coach will be able to recognize people that do different things at a different level too. If you try to teach everyone to arm wrestle like you might be missing away from the motherfucker who is able to get in on everybody. And like, if you trained Rustam Babayev, would he have the same level of success?
Well, I mean, I think he'd be a lot better probably, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Because here's the deal. I think that you have your stuff down, right? And I think that I have my stuff down. What's crazy is for me to try to coach you to do your stuff. So to me, the best coach should only lay down a fundamental procedure on what he or she does. It's crazy for me to try to give you instructions middle of the match. Like I hear these guys talking at practice. Like, yeah, I think I'm being as sarcastic as I possibly could be by saying there are no such thing as a coach. And that if you should just watch Bob Brown move around, and if you like that, great, ask some questions. But I just can't imagine that Bob is telling anybody anything that makes any fucking sense. Because I've heard people try to coach people. It's fucking hilarious. But I think if you start every sentence with, hey, my man, this is what I do, and this is the reason. Now we good. You can take it, leave it, do whatever you want to with it. But so, yeah, I think that it's funny that Bob's a coach right now.
Well, I think that, like you said, though, I think that coaches approach arm wrestling much like people approach like MMA. Some people want to wrestle, some people want to kickbox, some people want to do all kinds of different shit. I think that there's validity in all of it, but then there's also it depends on who it applies to. It might not apply to you, but it doesn't make it invalid because there are points in a match where what you say is very valid, and then maybe at other points.
You remember the time when I coached you to a win?
When? WAL?
I mean, the most obvious one ever, when I stopped the whole fucking production and changed the whole thing up. Do you know how impossible that would have been for me if I would have tried to tell you to do something that I don't already do and know 100% will work? I would not have the balls to give advice. If somebody could do something as good or better than me, and me would have to, and I would have, or even if they do it worse than me, I should not be showing anyone how to hook, how to press, how to out endurance anybody or nothing. But I will tell you exactly what I do try to do. And it's right here. And if it times up perfectly, that you can comprehend it, and this person will 100% fall for it, to me, you can speak up. Besides, like, I think the worst thing in the world is to be in the corner of somebody and they lose the first round. When they come over there, you are fucked as a human being, right? Because there's really little you could do to help. So to me, the whole coaching thing is the funniest thing I've ever heard. And to actually hear people like seriously ranking them and shit, it just kills me. So that's my rant for the day, Artem. Can we move on to some great topics that you have all displayed?
I got you. I just wonder, were you offered too much coaching last week? Like that was kind of almost random. Did Levi Feet?
I'm getting crushed with these requests. And the guy tells me, he's like, it's either you or Bob Brown. I'm like, oh my God. This is who I got to battle the market for, as being Bob. Oh, great.
That's awesome. Well, to the top.